be me, 25 years old, working construction as a foreman for a company. Been with my crew for 4 years, and these guys are like brothers. We work hard together and hang out on weekends regularly. Always have a solid group of 5 guys who have been tight since high school. Meet a girl named Sloan at a friend's party one night. She is 24 and works as a social media manager for some brand. We hit it off and start dating pretty seriously after a few weeks. She is smart and funny, and we have good chemistry together initially. 6 months in, and we move in together into an apartment downtown. Everything is good at first, and she gets along with my friends fine. Comes to barbecues and game nights, and seems to enjoy hanging with the guys. My boys like her and say I did good finding someone cool like her. Around month 8, she starts making small comments about my friends occasionally. Says they are kind of immature for guys in their mid-20s. Honestly, says she does not understand why we still hang out so much every week. I brush it off, thinking she is just adjusting to how close we all are. She starts following a bunch of feminist accounts on Instagram and TikTok daily. Her whole feed becomes content about toxic masculinity and male friendships and emotional labor. She sends me videos about how men use their friends to avoid emotional intimacy. Says I should be coming to her with my problems, not my boys. Tell her my friends are important to me and have been there my whole life. She says that is the problem. I am stuck in adolescence with them holding me back. Says healthy adult relationships mean your partner is your primary emotional support now. I say I can have both her and my friends. It is not one or the other. She starts declining invites to hang out with the guys on weekends anymore. Says she does not want to watch us drink beer and be crude all night. Says the way we talk to each other is disrespectful and borderline abusive. Honestly, I tell her that is just how guys communicate. We are not actually being mean. She says that is internalized toxic masculinity, and I have been conditioned to accept it. Says real friends should build each other up, not tear each other down constantly. I try to explain we do build each other up. That is how male bonding works. She does not get it and says I am making excuses for toxic behavior patterns. One Friday night, I am getting ready to go to my buddy Tyrell's place. She asks why I'm going out when we could spend time together instead. Say, I see her every day and I see my boys once a week. This is normal. She says, if I really loved her, I would want to spend all my free time with her. Tell her that is unrealistic and unhealthy to expect me to drop my friends for her. She starts crying and says she feels like she is competing with my friends for my attention. Says she should be my priority now that we live together and are serious. I feel guilty and agree to stay home that night to make her happy. Text the guys, I cannot make it, and they give me for being whipped. Sloan sees the texts and gets mad that they are making fun of her. Says my friends do not respect our relationship or her as my partner clearly. I defend them and say they are just joking around like we always do. She says the jokes are not funny. They are designed to undermine our relationship intentionally. She says, my friends feel threatened by a woman taking their buddy away from them. She says they will do anything to keep me in the toxic cycle of male friendship. I think she is reading way too much into some harmless group chat banter. Next weekend comes, and I tell her I am going to a game with the boys. She says she needs me home because she's having a hard day at work. I offer to come home right after the game, but she says that defeats the purpose. Says, if I really cared, I would just stay home and support her tonight. Tell her I already committed to going and I cannot bail on them again so soon. She says, the fact that I am choosing them over her when she needs me is very telling. I go to the game but feel guilty the whole time and do not enjoy it at all. Come home and she gives me the silent treatment for 2 whole days after. My buddy Rashad pulls me aside and asks if everything is okay with Sloan lately. Says, I have been flaking on plans a lot and seems stressed when I do show up. Tell him she is just going through some stuff and wants more quality time together. He says that is fine, but she should not be making me choose between her and friends. A few weeks later, Sloan finds our group chat and reads through all the messages we send. Comes at me about how disrespectful we are to women based on our conversations in there. We make jokes and talk about girls sometimes, like guys do in private, obviously. She says that is exactly the problem, and proof we are all misogynistic together. Says the group chat is a breeding ground for toxic attitudes toward women, clearly. Says I am being influenced by their backward views on relationships and gender roles. Tells me I need to set boundaries with them about how they talk or leave the group. I tell her, absolutely not. That is ridiculous to police in my private conversations like that. She says if I do not see the problem, then I am part of the problem. With says she cannot be with someone who participates in locker room talk and degrades women. I say we are not degrading women. We are just guys talking to each other privately. She says that is not an excuse, and I need to hold my friends accountable or lose her. Things get tense between us over the next few weeks about this issue constantly. Every time I hang out with the boys, she is cold to me before and after it happens. She starts tracking how much time I spend with them versus her to prove a point. Says I spend 6 hours a week with them, but only 4 hours of quality time with her. Tell her that is because we work different schedules, and I see her every single day. She says quantity is not the same as quality, and I am missing her point entirely here. Says she needs me to prioritize her emotional needs over my friends' social needs always. I feel like I am suffocating under the pressure of her constant demands for attention. My friend Elijah is getting married and asks me to be a groomsman in his wedding. I say yes immediately because he is one of my best friends since childhood days. Tell Sloan about it, and she asks how much time the wedding stuff will take up. Say, probably a bachelor party weekend and some planning meetings over next few months. She is visibly upset and says she does not want me going to the bachelor party. Asks why I need to go to Vegas with a bunch of men to celebrate his marriage. Tell her that is what groomsmen do. It is tradition and expected of me to be there. She says tradition is just an excuse to uphold toxic male bonding rituals and strip clubs. Tell her I am going whether she likes it or not. This is important to Elijah. She says then she's going on a girls' trip the same weekend to make it fair. I say fine, go ahead. I do not have a problem with her having friends. She says the difference is her friends do not encourage her to disrespect our relationship. Month before the bachelor party, and she is bringing it up constantly, trying to guilt me. Says she cannot believe I would abandon her for a weekend to party with the guys. Says it shows where her priorities are in my life, and it is not at the top, clearly. I am exhausted from fighting about this and just want her to drop it already. She gives me an ultimatum 2 weeks before the trip. Either skip it or we are done. Says she cannot be with someone who chooses his friends over her repeatedly like this. Says a real partner would understand how uncomfortable she is and respect that boundary. I tell her that is manipulative and unfair to make me choose like this right now. She says she is not being manipulative. She is communicating her needs clearly to me. Says if I go on this trip, it proves I do not value her feelings or our relationship. I tell her if she makes me skip this, she is controlling, and I will resent her forever. She says then maybe we are not compatible if my friends matter more than her comfort. Spend the next week thinking about what to do about this impossible situation here. My boys tell me if I let her control this, she will control everything going forward. Tyrell says he has seen this before, and it never stops with just one demand from her. Says if I give in now, she will keep taking until I have nothing left but her. Talked to my dad about it, and he says he had a girlfriend like this before my mom. Says he chose the girlfriend and lost all his friends over time because of her demands. Says they broke up eventually anyway, and he had nobody left because he pushed everyone away. Says biggest regret of his life was letting a woman isolate him from his support system. Realize Sloan has been slowly isolating me from my friends over the past year, systematically, First, it was small comments, then guilt trips, then ultimatums, and now complete control attempts. If I let her win this, she will keep pushing until I have no life outside of her, and I will be completely dependent on her for all my social and emotional needs, always. Week before the bachelor party, I tell her I am going no matter what. She breaks down crying and says, I am choosing my friends over her after everything we built. Tell her I am not choosing anyone. I am refusing to be controlled and isolated by her. She says this is not control. It is her expressing boundaries in our relationship. Clearly tell her boundaries are about what you will accept, not what you demand others do. Say she cannot set a boundary that controls who I spend time with. That is manipulation. She says I am gaslighting her by calling her manipulative when she is just protecting herself. I say protecting yourself does not mean cutting me off from everyone who cares about me. She packs a bag and goes to stay with her friend for a few days to think. Comes back and says she has thought about it and her boundary still stands firm. Says if I go on this trip, she will not be here when I get back home. I tell her, then I guess she will not be here because I am going to support my friend. She looks shocked, like she really thought the ultimatum would work on me completely. Says she cannot believe I am willing to throw away our relationship for one weekend. Tell her she is the one throwing it away by demanding I abandon my best friend. She says this is not about Elijah. This is about me refusing to grow up and prioritize her. I go on the bachelor party and have an amazing time with the guys away. Do not even think about Sloan most of the weekend because I am enjoying my friends. Realize how much I have been missing out on by letting her guilt me constantly. Come back feeling clear-headed and sure about what I need to do next. Get home and all her stuff is gone from the apartment, just like she said. She left a note saying she deserves someone who puts her first, and I clearly never will. Says she hopes I am happy with my decision and that my friends keep me warm. I read it and honestly feel relieved that it is over instead of sad. Text her that I got her note, and I think this is for the best for us. She responds with a long message about how I am emotionally unavailable and stunted by friends. Says, I will never have a successful relationship until I learn to prioritize a partner properly. Says, I am going to end up alone because no woman will accept being second. Do not respond because there is nothing left to say to her at this point. She posts on social media about leaving a toxic relationship that was holding her back. Her friends comment supporting her and calling me trash for not choosing her clearly. My friends who know the real story tell me I dodged a bullet with her. Few weeks go by, and I feel so much lighter without her constant guilt. Hanging out with the guys regularly again and remembering why these friendships matter so much. They have been there for me through everything and never asked me to change. Sloan wanted me to be someone different and cut off everyone who knew me. She tries to reach out a month later saying she misses me and wants to talk. Says maybe she overreacted and we can work through this if I am willing to compromise. Ask her what compromise looks like. And she says I can see my friends just less frequently. Tell her that is not compromise. That is still her controlling my friendships and time. She says she is trying to meet me halfway, but I am being stubborn and difficult. Say halfway would be her accepting my friendships without guilt or ultimatums attached to them. She says she cannot do that because my friends are a threat to our relationship. Tell her then we have nothing to talk about, because that will never change for me. She gets angry and says I'm going to regret choosing my immature friends over real relationship. Says I will be 40 and single, still hanging out with the same losers from high school. Say I would rather be happy with real friends than miserable with someone controlling me. She blocks me on everything after that, and I never hear from her again. Months later, one of the guys shows me her social media, where she is dating someone new. He looks miserable in every photo and has no friends in any of his pictures. Comments are all from her and her friends, hyping him up for being such a good partner. I recognized the pattern. She isolated him completely, just like she tried with me. Feel bad for him, but also grateful I got out when I did, before she succeeded. My friends joke that they saved my life by refusing to let me become that guy. Rashad says real friends do not let friends get isolated by controlling partners, no matter what. Says that is what brotherhood is actually about, having each other's backs, always. Year later, and I am dating someone new named Kendra, who actually likes my friends. She comes to game nights and barbecues and gets along great with everyone in group. Never once has she made me feel guilty for spending time with them or tried limiting it. She understands that my friendships are important and respects that part of my life. Ask her once if it bothers her that I am so close with my boys still. She says, why would it bother her? She has close friends too and values those relationships. Says healthy people have lives outside their romantic relationship. That is normal and good. She would be worried if I did not have close friends because that is a red flag. Realized that was the difference between her and Sloan all along. Clearly now, Sloan saw my friends as competition and a threat to her control over me always. Kendra sees them as part of who I am and values that I have strong relationships. One was trying to isolate me, and one is trying to support my whole life. Think about how many guys lose their friends because their girlfriend demands it from them. They think they are choosing love, but really, they are choosing control and isolation instead. Then, when the relationship ends, they have nobody left because they pushed everyone away. And they realize too late that real love does not require you to abandon everyone. My friends are the ones who were there before Sloan and will be there after. They are the ones who know me completely and accept me without trying to change anything. They are the ones who tell me the truth, even when it is hard to hear. Choosing them over her controlling demands was the easiest decision I ever made. Honestly, Sloan is still posting about toxic masculinity and male friendships online constantly. I see still blaming men for all her relationship problems, instead of looking at her own behavior. Still trying to find a guy who will cut off his friends and make her his world. Wonder if she will ever realize that is not love. That is codependency and control. Sometimes women use feminism as an excuse to be controlling and manipulative in relationships. Clearly, they frame normal male friendships as toxic to justify isolating their partner from support systems. They call boundaries what is actually just demands that you change everything about your life. And they play victim when you refuse to let them control who you spend time with. The right partner does not make you choose between them and your friends ever. They understand that healthy people have multiple important relationships in their lives simultaneously. They trust you and respect your autonomy instead of trying to manage every aspect of time. They add to your life instead of demanding you subtract everyone else from it. Losing Sloan hurt at first, but keeping my friends was worth it completely, without question. They have my back unconditionally and have proven that over and over through the years. She wanted me to prove my love by abandoning them for her. And I refused, because real love does not require you to destroy other relationships to prove yourself. Sometimes the trash takes itself out when you refuse to be controlled by ultimatums. Sometimes choosing your friends is actually choosing yourself and your mental health over toxicity. Sometimes the woman who demands you quit, your boys, is showing you exactly who she is. And sometimes being shattered is the best thing that can happen to someone controlling you.